In this question, you have to match the items given in column 1 with those in column 2. Now, syncarpus refers to flowers where multiple pistils are fused together. Thus, A matches with 3. Gametogenesis is the process of formation of gametes, that is, sperms and egg cells. Thus, B matches with 1. Now, in higher ascomycetes, the hyphae are dikaryotic. That is, each cell contains 2 genetically distinct haploid nuclei. Thus, C matches with 4. And a pistillate flower is unisexual and has only female reproductive organs, that is, pistils. Thus, D matches with 2. Hence, the correct answer is option B. In this question, you have to identify the correct statement regarding angiosperms. Option A, reduction division occurs in the megaspore mother cells. Now, this is correct. In the majority of angiosperms, the megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis, that is reduction division, to produce 4 haploid megaspores, and one of which develops into the embryo sac. Option B, a small central cell is present in the embryo sac. Now, this is incorrect because the central cell in the embryo sac is the largest cell and it contains 2 polar nuclei. Option C, egg has a filiform apparatus. It is also incorrect because the filiform apparatus is not associated with the egg cell, but rather with the synergid cells, which assist in guiding the pollen tube to the egg cell during fertilization. Option D, there are numerous antipodal cells. It is also incorrect because in most angiosperms, the embryo sac usually has only 3 antipodal cells. In this question, you have to identify the suitable pollinating agent in case of water hyacinth and water lily. Now, water hyacinth and water lily mainly relies on pollination by insects, that is entomophily, as their flowers are attractive and may produce nectar. And in some cases, pollination by wind may also occur. And these mechanisms are well suited because their flowers are emergent or floating flowers. Hence, the correct answer is option D. The ovule of an angiosperm is technically equivalent to option A, megaspore mother cell. It is incorrect because the megaspore mother cell is a single diploid cell inside the ovule that undergoes meiosis to produce 4 haploid megaspores. So it is only a part of the ovule and it is not equivalent to the entire ovule. Option B, megaspore. It is also incorrect because it is a haploid cell that develops from the megaspore mother cell after meiosis, and it is one of the cells within the ovule but does not represent the ovule as a whole. Option C, megasporangium. The ovule in angiosperm is equivalent to the megasporangium as it contains the structures that is responsible for producing and housing the female gametophyte, that is the embryo sac. Hence, it is the correct option. Option D, megasporophyle. It is also incorrect because it refers to the leaf-like structure, that is carpel in angiosperm that bears the ovules. The level of a herbarium sheet does not carry information on option A, local names. It is incorrect because it includes the local names of the plant, as it helps in identifying and connecting the specimen to regional knowledge. Option B, height of the plant. The height of the plant is not included on a herbarium sheet. It is because the specimen collected for the herbarium can be a part of the plant. For example, a branch, leaves, flowers, and the full height is not always relevant or measurable from the sample. Hence, it is the correct option. Option C, date of collection. It is also incorrect because the date of collection is an essential piece of information on a herbarium sheet, as it helps in tracking the seasonality of the plant. Option D, name of the collector. It is also incorrect because the name of the collector is included on a herbarium sheet to credit the individual who has collected the specimen and to maintain the record for reference or if there is any query. Hence, conifers are adapted to tolerate extreme environmental conditions because of option A, thick cuticle. Now, conifers have a thick cuticle on their leaves, which reduces water loss and provides protection against desiccation in extreme environmental conditions like cold, wind, or drought. Hence, it is the correct option. Option B, presence of vessels. It is incorrect because conifers do not have true vessels in their xylem. Option C, broad hardy leaves. It is also incorrect because conifers have narrow needle-like leaves and not broad leaves. Option D, superficial stomata. It is also incorrect because conifers have sunken stomata and not superficial stomata. The term polyadelphous is related to option A, corolla. It is incorrect because this is not related to corolla, that is the petals of the flowers. Option B, calyx. It is also incorrect because the calyx consists of sepals and is unrelated to polyadelphous. Option C, gynoecium. It is also incorrect because gynoecium refers to the female reproductive part of a flower, which includes carpels or pistils, which is not related to polyadelphous. Option D, androecium. Polyadelphous refers to the condition in which the stamens, that is the male reproductive part of a flower, are united into more than two groups by their filaments. So this term is related to androecium. Hence, it is the correct option. In this question, you have to identify how many plants among Indigofera, Sesbania, Salvinia, Allium, aloe, mustard, groundnut, radish, gram, and turnip have stamens with different lengths in their flowers. Now, among the given plants, Salvinia has didynamous stamens, that is, there are 4 stamens in 2 pairs of different lengths, while mustard, radish, and turnip has tetradynamous stamens, that is, the flower contains 6 stamens, out of which 4 are longer and the rest is shorter. So, these 4 flowers have stamens of different lengths. The rest, like Indigofera, Sesbania, Allium, aloe, groundnut, gram, have stamens of uniform length. Hence, the correct answer is option D, that is, 4 plants exhibit stamens of different lengths. In this question, you have to identify the plant, the flower of which exhibit radial symmetry. Option A, pisum, that is P. It is incorrect because pisum has zygomorphic flowers, that is, flowers can be divided into 2 equal halves along only one plane, that is bilateral symmetry. Option B, cassia. It is also incorrect because it also exhibits zygomorphic flowers. Option C, brassica, that is mustard. Now, brassica has actinomorphic flowers, that is, flowers are radially symmetrical and can be divided into 2 equal halves along multiple planes. Hence, it is the correct option. Option D, trifolium, that is clover. It is also incorrect because it has zygomorphic flowers like pisum or cassia that exhibit bilateral symmetry. In this question, you have to identify the plant that exhibit free central placentation. Option A, brassica. It is incorrect because it exhibits parietal placentation, where ovules are attached to the walls of the ovary. Option B, citrus. It is also incorrect because it exhibits axial placentation. That is, ovules are attached to a central column in a multilocular ovary. Option C, dianthus. Now, dianthus exhibits free central placentation, where ovules are attached to the central column in a unilocular ovary, and the column is not connected to the ovary walls. Hence, it is the correct option. Option C, argemone. It is also incorrect because it exhibits parietal placentation. In this question, you have to identify between which two parts of the plant cortex is found. Now, the cortex is the region between the epidermis, that is the outer layer, and the stele, that is the central vascular tissue in plant roots and stems. Hence, the correct answer is option C, that is epidermis and stele. In this question, you have to identify the statement that is true regarding the balloon-shaped structure called tylosis. Option A are extensions of xylem parenchyma cells into vessels. Now, tyloses are balloon-shaped outgrowths of the xylem parenchyma cells that extend into the lumen of the xylem vessels, and it often blocks the vessels. And this appears typically in response to injury or infection, and that helps to prevent the spread of the pathogens. Hence, it is the correct option. Option B are linked to the ascent of sap through xylem vessels. It is incorrect because tyloses actually block the xylem vessels, and it hinder the upward movement of water and nutrients. Option C, originate in the lumen of vessels. It is also incorrect because, as already stated, tyloses originate from the xylem parenchyma cells and not directly in the lumen of the vessels. Option D, characterize the sapwood. It is also incorrect because these are found in the heartwood, where they block the vessels and prevent water flow, and not in the sapwood, which is rather involved in the active conduction of water. In this question, it is given that a few drops of sap were collected by cutting across a plant stem by a suitable method, and then the sap was chemically tested. So, you have to identify which of the following test results indicate that it is a phloem sap. Now, phloem sap usually consists of water and sugars, amino acids, and other organic compounds. So, it has specific characteristics that help to identify it. Now, coming to the options, option A, lower refractive index. It is incorrect because as phloem sap is rich in sugars, especially sucrose, it contributes to a relatively high refractive index. Option B, absence of sugar. It is also incorrect because phloem sap contains high concentrations of sugars, primarily sucrose. Option C, acidic. It is also incorrect because it is not acidic. Its pH is neutral to slightly alkaline. Option D, alkaline. Now, phloem sap often has slightly alkaline pH due to the presence of organic solutes like amino acids and sugars. And this distinguishes it from xylem sap, which may be more neutral or slightly acidic. Hence, it is the correct option. You are given a tissue with its potential for differentiation in an artificial culture. So you have to identify which of the following pairs of hormones would you add to the medium to secure shoots as well as roots? Option A, auxin and abscisic acid. Now, while auxins are involved in root development, abscisic acid plays a role in stress response and dormancy and not in shoot or root differentiation. Hence, it is incorrect option. Option B, gibberellin and abscisic acid. It is also incorrect because gibberellins are mainly involved in stem elongation and seed germination, while abscisic acid regulates stress and dormancy. Option C, IAA and gibberellin. Now, IAA, which is a type of auxin, it supports root formation. But gibberellins are not involved in shoot or root differentiation. Hence, it is incorrect. Option D, auxin and cytokinin. Now, auxins like IAA, that is indole acetic acid, promote root development, while cytokinins stimulate shoot formation. And the ratio of auxin to cytokinin in the medium determines whether roots, shoots, or callus formation occurs. So, it is an ideal pair for differentiation in tissue culture. Thus, it is the correct option. In this question, you have to identify the element which is essential for the growth of the root tip. Option A, calcium. Calcium is essential for the growth of the root tip because it is a key component of the cell wall and it is involved in cell division and elongation. Besides, it also stabilizes cell membranes and plays an important role in signal transduction, which is also very important for the development of new root tissues. Hence, it is the correct option. Option B, manganese. Now, while manganese is important for enzyme activation and photosynthesis, but it is not directly associated with the root tip growth. Hence, it is incorrect. Option C, zinc. It is also incorrect because zinc is necessary for enzyme function and photosynthesis, but it is not specifically needed for root tip growth. Option D, iron. It is also incorrect because iron is a vital component for chlorophyll synthesis and it also acts as a cofactor in various enzymatic reactions, but it is not directly related to growth of root tip. In this question, you have to identify the process which makes major difference between C3 and C4 plants. Option A, photorespiration. Now, photorespiration occurs in C3 plants when oxygen competes with carbon dioxide for binding to the enzyme rubisco, thus leading to the loss of fixed carbon and energy. While C4 plants minimize photorespiration by separating carbon fixation and the Kelvin cycle spatially using a mechanism that is involving this PP carboxylase, which has higher affinity for carbon dioxide and does not bind oxygen. Hence, it is the correct option. Option B, respiration. It is incorrect because it is a universal process occurring in all living cells, including C3 and C4 plants. Option C, glycolysis. It is also incorrect because it is also a common metabolic pathway for glucose breakdown in all organisms. Option D, Kelvin cycle. It is also incorrect because it occurs in both C3 and C4 plants, but the way carbon dioxide is delivered to the Kelvin cycle is what that differs. In this question, you have to identify the wrong statement. Option A, in potato, banana and ginger, the plantlets arise from the internodes present in the modified stem. Now, this is wrong. In potato, banana, and ginger, the plantlets arise from the nodes and not internodes that is present in the modified stems, that is, whether it's tubers or rhizomes and so on. Hence, it is the correct option. Option B, water hyacinth, growing in the standing water, drains oxygen from water that leads to the death of the fishes. This is true. And that's why water hyacinth is known as the terror of Bengal, because it grows rapidly, covering water bodies and depletes oxygen levels, causing the death of the aquatic life. Hence, it is incorrect option. Option C, offspring produced by asexual reproduction are called clone. This is also true. Asexual reproduction produces genetically identical offspring, which are known as clones. Hence, it is incorrect option. Option D, microscopic motile asexual reproductive structures are called zoospores. This is also true. Zoospores are motile, microscopic, asexual reproductive structures commonly found in algae and fungi. Hence, it is incorrect option.